So right off the bat, you can see that we're going to need to put these little black pieces in. And it just shows we're going to use the pliers to do it. So it'll just be a matter of putting one in, grabbing the pliers, snapping it in, and you can see it moving around in there. So I just have to do that with the other two. So we can just do the same thing, put one in, grab the pliers, snap it in. Now they're moving around. And again, same thing with the other sides. Pretty simple. They pop in pretty easy. So those are now in, and that's just gonna, since that's got to be attached through screws, that's just gonna give a little bit of play for the movement of the linkage. So that's good. That part's done. So now what we're gonna end up doing is grabbing one of them, grab one of the tapping screws, putting it through the hole, and I mean you can see the movement there. And then it's going into part A3. And just be aware of the placement of A3 because it shows that this front part that's facing forward is higher than the back, because you can kind of see the shape of that. This front is higher than the lower part. Same thing here. So we'll grab that one we just did and stick that there. And then we will screw that in. And that is in. So now you can see the play and the movement. So I'll do the same with the other one and we'll move on to the next part. So there are the two finished steering linkage arms. So now we can move on to step 25, which is attaching the steering linkage. So we need some of the screws here, which I've pulled together here, the step screws, the washer, and we're now going to attach these arms to the chassis. There's also a little piece of double-sided tape or sponge tape, so I'll grab that, and you can see that you want to make it actual size based on this little diagram. So I'll get those ready, and then we can install the linkage. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut the sponge tape. You can see it there, and it is now the correct size. And really, from what I can see, the only point to it is it's going to keep the servo saver clean or help keep dirt out of it, because the servo sits back here. That's just going to be where the movement of the servo saver is going to go. So I think that's its only point, because nothing else attaches to it. So first off, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the steering linkage arms into the chassis. And even though it shows one there, I think you're going to find the easiest way to build this is to put the one, attach it to the chassis first, and then attach it to the arm. Because this, if you try and do it the other way around, I don't think it's as clean. I think it's much easier to put this one in and then put the other one into the arm. So let's go ahead and put the one into the chassis first. So if we grab this one here, we know that's how it's going to fit. We grab one of the step screws, because you know there's going to be a little bit of play on the bottom, and we're going to grab one of the washers, and so the washer is going to sit down here, but I'm going to put the washer on the bottom there. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it, and then put it onto the chassis, and then we're going to screw it down. Just want to make sure that linkage is correct. Yeah, so I mean that now is sitting properly. I haven't screwed it all the way down. I just want to make sure that everything's going to be fine. Then when we grab the other one, we can now put that in the hole and put that into that end hole as well. And screw that in, which I can feel it working. So that's how it's going to go. I just need to tighten these two screws. It's just going to be a little easier off camera, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll put on the other one. So I tightened this down, and you can see everything's running nice and smooth. I went ahead and just did the other one. I didn't see the point in putting that on camera because it's exactly the same thing as what we did on this side. So you can see that once this is attached with the other piece, we'll have the full motion of the steering. So the only thing left to do here is to put down this double-sided tape, which is going to fit right there. So I'll go ahead and just stick that down, and then we can move on to the next step. So here we go. There is the foamy. It's down, it's ready to go. So we can move on to the next step, which is checking the RC equipment.